Okay, well. Okay, I'd like to call to order the meeting for the Virginia Highlands Local Human Rights Committee. Would people go ahead and introduce themselves as we go along so we can take attendance? My name's Gardner Umbarger and I'm the chair of the committee. And I welcome everybody taking the time from their busy schedule to join us. And hop on in, whoever, Michelle.
Michelle DeBoard, I'm a member of the committee.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Nancy
Barb
Muncy,
Bart, I'm a member of the committee.
Nancy Muncy, Vice Chairman. Hello, everyone. I'm here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm Heather Oakes. I'm the human rights advocate for Virginia Highlands LHRC.
I think you're on mute, David.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm David Boehm. I represent this region at the State's Human Rights Committee. I'm here just to offer any support and let you know we appreciate what you do at the local human rights level. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this is Matt Woodley. I'm with Southwestern.
Okay, I think that's everybody. Okay, like to go ahead and call for approval of the agenda as written. Can I get somebody to make a motion and a second?
I'll
Make a
move that
motion.
we approve the agenda.
Okay,
I'll
This is
second.
Michelle.
okay. All in favor of approval of the agenda as written, say aye.
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 Hi.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the agenda is approved as written. There were copies of our last minutes that were included. Did anybody have any additions or corrections?
Yes. I was present by Zoom.
Okay, I picked that one up as well. So that was the only one that I was aware of. Did anyone have anything else?
Thank you, Gardner.
Hey, I try to pay attention.
That's actually been corrected already.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
thank you.
Are there any
I
other
feel so
corrections that we
important
need to be
now.
concerned about? Okay, well, can I get motion to approve the minutes as written with corrections?
So moved.
I'll move that.
Okay, can I get a second from the floor?
Second.
Okay, all in favor of the minutes as corrected, say aye.
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 Hi.
Any opposed? No abstentions? Okay, then the minutes are approved as corrected. Okay, do we have any public members that would like to speak today to the committee? I don't have any special announcements as the chairperson. Do any of the committee members have anything that they'd like to share? Okay, if not, then we'll move to the advocates report. Heather, do you have something?
I do. I pulled quarterly abuse, neglect, exploitation, and complaint statistics for our region. This is for the quarter ending in 12/31/2021. There were a total of 433 total complaints, 413 which were provider, and 20 for the CSBs, which were involving allegations of abuse, neglect, exploitation. Of the 433 total complaints, 35 were substantiated. It was a percentage of 8% substantiated cases. We did not have any variances for Region 3. A couple statewide updates I wanted to let you all know. We received emails regarding the Virginia's opioid crisis. Our chief medical examiner stated last year that 2020 was the worst year on record for fatal overdoses in Virginia. There was a 63% increase in the number of overdose deaths. Oh, someone's trying to get in. There we go. The numbers for 2021 are showing even worse news. There was a 17% increase in the first 9 months of 2021 as the same time frame in 2020. The Richmond Times-Dispatch had reported that this week in Virginia is on pace to record nearly 2,700 overdose deaths in 2021, which is nearly 4 times higher than when the state began tracking overdoses in 2007. For COVID-19 cases, as of January 28th this year, there were 274 positive COVID cases across the facilities. This is 180 staff and 94 patients, which is still incredibly high. A couple upcoming events that Office of Human Rights is completing. We've got a training in 2 days this is for community providers on restrictions, behavior treatment plans, and restraints. This is just to educate on regulatory requirements. And then we have an upcoming training on March 10th for investigating abuse and neglect. And then there's another one on March 17th on human rights regulations. And all of these trainings can be accessed through the department's webpage. You can register there if you're interested in learning a little bit more about what we do. And then I've got the State Human Rights Committee meeting dates for 2022, if anybody would like any of those dates.
Are any in our region?
I do not show any of them in our region, but that is not to say that they are not. David, do you know if there's any going to actually be down here?
You mean other than the regional report that you gave?
Right.
You can always ask for the state report that's given at our regular meetings.
Okay.
That may be helpful if you want to compare us to the rest of the state, which I think is always helpful to look at that.
Right. Okay. Do you know if the LHRC plans on meeting in this region anytime this year?
No, there's no plans on the agenda. We just looked at it a couple of weeks ago. There isn't at this point.
Okay.
We're still in the process because of the COVID restrictions, whether we're going any place. I think the next place we're looking at is Northern Virginia. We haven't made the final decision on that. That may be in March or April.
Okay.
So will that be a Zoom meeting or live?
Well, we don't know yet. The last meeting was supposed to have been in person 2 weeks ago, and it was switched to the Zoom meeting at just a week before. Everything is so up in the air with what's going on with COVID again. Does that help any?
It might be interesting. It might be interesting to attend one, just as a member. But
yep, it's open to the public. It's always open to the public. You can work through your regional advocate right here, and they can make sure that you get connected with the Zoom link. If we do a Zoom link,
okay.
it's always open to public. Okay.
Yeah.
Not all the meetings are on Zoom. Sometimes we're doing it live, which makes it a little harder. But we do have people still attending by Zoom or by phone call at the public area. Okay, but it's open to the public except for the deliberations like you all would do it in private. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they could, I mean, I guess if they wanted to, they could stream it to the public, even if they had in-person meetings with the members. So that would allow a wider range of people to at least see what's going on. That might be something to suggest to them, David. So
yeah, I would work through your regional advocate here, and then tell them what you would like, and go see what they can put you on the list so that you can get a notice. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay. Let's see. Anything else, Heather?
No, that was all for me. We did have someone join on an iPhone, and I'm not sure who that is.
It's Michaela.
Oh, okay. Michaela's here.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, Matt, are you doing the update for the facility?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and give us a little update on what's going on at the Mental Health Institute?
Sure. The positivity rate for COVID in our region continues to spike. Some areas, some counties continue to be around 40%. I think in Smith County, it went down to around 30% last week, or slightly below 30%, which was a decline. So the anticipation is that it hopefully is reach its apex and will continue to start declining as the spring, as we move towards the warmer weather. So we're hoping for that to occur. We did have a time period of where we had quite a few staff out, which made things very challenging regarding case positive patients here that we had to put on Ward K to isolate them, and also positive staff members who had to be out, which obviously caused problems with staffing at a particular time. But we seem to be moving in the right direction regarding that. So that's certainly positive. An ongoing issue we've had recently is a dramatic uptick in the number of law enforcement drop-offs at our facility. There's been a total of 44 law enforcement drop-offs since September the 9th, but 22 of the 44 have come within the last 30 days, and 11 of the 44 have occurred in the last 14 days. So that seems to be picking up dramatically, with 88.3% of the drop-offs coming from either Highlands, Mount Rogers, or the New River Valley Community Service Board area, with Highlands being the highest number. And they're actually at 38.6% of the drop-offs are coming from the Washington County area. So we're doing everything possible to try to be able to manage that, including trying to get, and I assume you guys know what the drop-off process is. I just assumed, I probably shouldn't have assumed, but basically when they instituted the ED waiting list in July, when individuals are referred, we would put them on the ED waiting list, and then the facilities would go down and based upon bed availability, take people off the ED waiting list. Now, when facilities, hospitals, and primarily law enforcement in certain jurisdictions are now, as soon as they get a TDO that's issued pending medical clearance, they're saying that they have a TDO and are just automatically bringing the person and not holding the person. So, but we're doing everything we can to mitigate that and trying to get as much medical information as we can, so there's no negative outcomes regarding that. Obviously, to a variety of reasons, including staffing that's been ongoing for some time, not significantly at Southwestern, but across the system, including the CSBs. But as of this morning, there were 254 beds offline across the facilities, but only 7 of them were at Southwestern. So the majority of them are at other facilities, and they are offline due to COVID restrictions or staffing issues. But so for the most part here at Southwestern, we've been able to meet the needs regarding staffing and or COVID issues throughout these very challenging times. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Thank you, Matt.
Has there been a problem with staff turnover or anything related to vaccine mandates? Or I don't know how much, whether you fall in this, I assume because you're a CMS beneficiary,
Yes, that did impact us, and luckily we were able to, I think we have around 83% of our staff is vaccinated, which is pretty good compared to the CSBs, other employers, and some of the other hospitals. So, and we have signed waivers either for religious or medical for all of our staff. So 100% of our staff are either vaccinated or have a waiver in place as far as when CMS comes to visit and later down the road when the Joint Commission comes to visit.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Matt? Okay. I guess we can go ahead and go into closed sessions, don't you think, Heather?
Yes. If
First
there's no-
thing on the agenda is the
Wait a
Southwest.
minute.
Yeah,
If you're going to close session, I usually leave at this point, okay?
Oh, okay, David, did you have anything else you wanted to add to us before?
No, I'm just here if there's any questions from anybody, and just to let you know, we're supportive of what you do locally. As you know, we've had to condense some local human rights committees across the state because of lack of participation. I'm glad to see that, of course, we're alive and well here and doing a good job with everybody coming on board and participating. That's not true through the rest of the state. Like I said, we've had to consolidate some of them. So I appreciate what you do and the board does. Thank you very much. And I'm open to any questions that you may have.
Does anybody have any questions for David?
David, thank you for being here.
You're
I
sure
appreciate
welcome.
you taking the time to come here. I'm grateful to the people that we have that are dedicated enough to come and regularly attend the meetings. So we've been able to have a quorum, and that's been I appreciate the effort everyone's put into it.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, and have a good day.
Okay, thank you, David.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Dave.
Stay safe, please. Okay.
We will.
Thank you.
Well, I know one of the reasons Matt was talking about the positivity rate in Smith County being kind of low, and Smith County's been fortunate to have the School of Health Sciences there. That gets a larger number of vaccinated individuals in the community than might otherwise not have. So that's helped a lot. And I know my wife works over at the School of Health Sciences in Marion, and I know that they have had very few infections and have been pretty rigorous with regard to their remediation policies to try to keep it from spreading. So I just thought I might add that to let people understand what's going on in Smith County. Okay, let's see. Move to closed sessions. Thank you for the cheat sheet, Heather. I pulled an old one that had information about how to call it to a closed session, but it was nice to have one already available.
yeah. I try to
Okay.
remember those. I know it helps.
Yeah, it really does. I could probably get about 80% of it off the top of my head, but I'd miss all the citations and stuff to the Virginia code. So don't want to have a problem there. So I move that the local human rights committee go into closed session pursuant to Virginia Code section 2.2-3711A 4 and 15 for the purpose of protecting the privacy of individuals and personal matters not related to public business and the discussion of medical and mental records, namely to conduct Southwest Virginia Mental Health Institute restrictions, community connection supports restrictions, and Highlands Community Services Behavioral Treatment Plan review with restrictions. And do we need a second on that?
Second.
Okay. Okay, and you have a motion to, I have a motion to return to open session. And I move, when everybody needs to make the following statement, responsive statement, I move that each member certify that to the best of their knowledge, Only matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements were heard, discussed, or considered. And each says, I so certify. I so certify.
I so certify.
I so certify.
Barb,
Okay.
you're on mute.
Okay, so let's deal with the wheelchair issues first. Those you need me to sign off on, Heather, correct?
Yes, and if you all want them to bring back next meeting with data, you all can do that, or you can put, if you all think review every 6 months, whatever you all feel like would be beneficial. I think it was all 3 with safety or seatbelts on the wheelchairs.
Yeah, they were all pretty much the same. And as Mike said, there's not, it's probably something that they're going to continue to use since they're not going to be ambulatory and stuff like that. Probably no reason to do it any more frequently than every 6 months, unless there's some statutory or regulatory requirement.
Okay. I mean, you can stretch it out for a year if you would like. It's completely up to you all.
Do you all want to do it, stretch it out for a year since it's not likely to be one of those that's going to change dramatically?
Absolutely.
Yes, it's a
Yes.
safety factor.
How about Nancy, Barb?
Yes, a year is good.
Okay. So I'll just add that recommendation to the bottom, Heather, if that's all right.
Okay, yeah.
And I'll go ahead and mail these copies to you with the should I send them to the same address as as the LHRC interview?
No, if you could, do you have the ability to scan?
Yep.
If you
Just
could,
send me an email to make sure I've got the email address you want me to return it to,
okay,
and I'll sign them and scan them.
okay, yeah, that'd be great. You can just scan them straight to me and I'll get them out.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, and then the other one we have is for the behavioral plan we just heard about. Pull stuff out over. Review on that the next meeting. Get an update on it. And do they need to do it in person or just by correspondence or?
They can send to me, and I can just let you all view it, whatever you all think would be best. I'm not really sure that anything much is going to change. But if they have updates, they would let me know anything. If anything had changed or anything, we could bring it back.
Okay. Yeah, as long as I assume with something like this, as long as it's working well and it hasn't increased the negative behaviors on the part of the individual and no more restrictive, it's probably one of those things that if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
Agreed.
Agree.
Okay. Now I don't have to sign. Do I have to sign this one as well? I
Yes.
think there's a behavioral, there's a form on the back, restriction of dignity and freedoms form. So
You-
I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
And you want
would-
that scanned and returned as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. Okay. Is that pretty much it?
That is it.
All right. Well, let's see. Just a reminder that our next meeting is
Tuesday,
in
April
May.
12th.
I believe
Okay.
I've got May is the next one.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's at the, wait, no, April. It's on the bottom of this agenda.
Oh, okay. I've got two different copies of the agenda, so I'm
Yeah.
sitting there.
Yeah, there were
Okay.
two different agendas.
Oh,
One
it's-
wasn't updated.
It is April. I mean, May. I'm sorry. It is May 10th. I'm sorry.
May
No,
No,
10th.
that's the date,
Okay, so
because we had one February, so we wouldn't have March, every 3 months, so.
Right.
So it would be March, April, May would be the third month.
Right.
Yeah, we're kind of a month on,
this
yeah,
date
that
is
might be-
incorrect.
I have May 10th.
yeah, I've got May 10th also. I
Yeah.
think that might be, I think that's a mistake, Michelle.
Okay,
Yeah, it's supposed to be May 10th. I think we had to redo it because Holly has one in April. So we had to move ours to May.
Okay. I think that, well, yeah, and we're kind of a month beyond our normal schedule. Usually January, April, whatever, July, and then what, November or something, October,
Right.
November. But we had one in December, so we kind of moved everything up a couple of months.
And right now, I'm not 100% sure. It's looking like we're going to be able to do an in-person meeting next time. But if that changes, I will let you all know. Technically, this meeting could have been in person. Our restrictions lifted last week. But I'd already set everything up through Zoom. So I said, no, let's just do it through Zoom. It's a little bit more convenient, but I will let you all know if anything changes. But right now, it's looking like it will be in person.
Okay. Same time, same place as usual, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody else have anything for the good of the group?
Good
No,
seeing everyone.
Me that after I said
Sorry
this thing, this review of the woman we interviewed, so that I can mail that in, because I already used the envelope. If you could just email the address, that would be great. I'll just address the envelope.
I've already sent you the email, Barb. It's and I put who it needs to go attention to.
Okay, great. Great, thanks.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody, for taking the time to, out of your busy schedule to come join us today, and I'll look forward to seeing you on May.
all right, be
All
safe.
right.
Thank
Okay.
you all.
Same
Try to stay
here.
warm and enjoy
Yeah.
this nice weather we're gonna have in the next couple days.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
all.
Okay, I call this meeting adjourned.
Okay, thank you. Have a good one.